Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Saturday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Welcome. Good to see you. I know it's really late. I'll make it quick though. I'll make it good and I'll make it sweet and short, but impactful. Um, you guys know I've talked about this book before, Atomic Habits. Reading it for a second, and this is like I read it years ago when it first came out. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And the second time I'm reading it and listening to it on Audibles as well. It's awesome. It's awesome. So in chapter 19, he talks about how the human mind loves a good challenge, right? It loves a good challenge. But how do you maintain your excitement, your motivation, if you would, for peak performance, right? At times when it's tough, right? So how do you do that? So he suggests, and he talks about this idea, this rule that, well, let me drop it right here. I was gonna go through it first and then drop the name, but you know what? I'm gonna drop the name. So he calls it the Goldilocks rule. And what the Goldilocks rule says is that the human mind loves a good challenge, right? We all love a good challenge, but as long as it's within the optimal zone of difficulty, which means, look, if you like to play tennis, he talks about, and you like a good challenge, you playing against a 4-year-old, it's not going to take that long before it becomes real boring. And you playing against a professional tennis player, if you would, you're going to pretty quickly realize that you may not be that good and you're going to get discouraged. So if it's not within the optimal zone of the difficulty, it's either going to get boring or you're going to get discouraged. But if you were to play against somebody who's just like you, or maybe slightly better than you, then what would happen is that all the distractions would go away. And you would actually, what would happen is that you would focus on the task at hand. You would focus on the competition. You would win some, they would win some, you would win some, they would win some, and you would get that competition, that real competition started. Why? Because you're both in the same level, if you would. Hi, Dahlia. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Hopefully you circle back, watch the beginning. I think you will like. So, you know, like I said, it's got to be within the optimal zone of your difficulty, and at the same time, here's the thing: it has to be just within the manageable difficulty. Like I said, it can't be you being a basic player and you go play with the pros when you've never done it before and you're not going to be that good, right? So this is, in a way, I could relate this to when you hear people say, "Hey, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20," right? I don't know if you've heard that before. If you've heard that before, maybe you can drop a hey in the comments. But maybe this is where we can kind of relate that. I've actually done 2 lives on that concept. This whole concept that comparison is bad and don't compare and all this stuff. You shouldn't compare yourself with others. I actually challenged that idea. That's not what I'm going to do here, but I've done it twice, and I challenged that idea because people compare, but then they leave it. There's another half to it, but that's not what I'm talking about. But in a way, you could relate this to that whole, hey, I don't want to compare my chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20. Somebody who just got started in something today versus somebody who's been doing it for 30 years. Oh, thank you for the stars, Dahlia. I appreciate it. So you comparing yourself with somebody like that, it's gonna be pretty sure it's gonna be discouraging to you. Why? Because you don't see that reachable for you, right? So in a lot of ways, if it's out of the optimal zone of the difficulty, if you would, if it's out of hand, it's way out there, you're not even going to try. That's why a lot of the I'll share this with you, a lot of the team contests, when you see like people, they do a team contest, and there's like one winner or two or three, and there's like 500 people or 1,000 people who are in the team. What happens is that most people won't even try because they're thinking to themselves, well, it's not within my zone. It's not within my optimal zone. These guys are pros. These guys are going to win anyway. I have no shot. So it falls outside of your optimal zone of the difficulty. And if it falls outside, anywhere outside, then you're not even going to try. You're not even going to try. Even your mind and even we love a good challenge. But if it's outside, I keep looking at my note because I don't want to screw it up. Outside the optimal zone of the difficulty, we're just not even going to try because it's not even worth it. It's like, for example, if somebody came to you and said, hey, listen, Fedor is in town and he likes to get in the cage with you, or I don't know, if Fedor maybe a tennis player as well. I think my dad has talked about him before. Hey, he's in town and he wants to play a match with you. You're gonna be like, what the heck? No, I'm right? Because it's a competition you're not gonna win, right? So if it's outside that optimal zone of the difficulty, you're not even gonna try. So, but if it falls just right there within the optimal zone, it pushes you enough to get you moving and actually progressing and improving, then you're constantly going to go for that challenge. What I mean by that is this. So if you're going to put yourself in a goal situation, if you want to achieve a goal, right, you should not set a goal so it's way out of reach. It's outside that optimal zone of the difficulty. If it's outside of that zone, you're not going to even try to get to that goal because you already subconsciously in your mind, it's not achievable. Like if you've never ever made $1 in a network marketing company, it would be probably not fair for you to say, you know what, first month I'm coming in, I'll make $5,000. Just, it's probably not going to happen, right? It's outside that optimal zone of the difficulty, and you're not even going to try, right? So if you're going to set yourself up for a goal, if you're going to put something ahead of you for yourself to like catch, right, a goal, then make sure it's reachable, but it's also, it pushes you to reach for it, right? It has to be reachable, and also you gotta like stretch to reach it. It can't be just like, oh, here it is, right? So you got to be able to push yourself and get some progress. So hopefully you guys get some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. I want to know one takeaway from this live. Drop it in the comments below. Let this feed grow. Dahlia, I appreciate the stars. Thank you, thank you. If you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people. You know. And with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.